Okay, so I want to talk to the wives today. And I need you to actually stay with me on this one because this is something that a lot of women in marriages do not fully understand. Have you ever felt like the harder you try to hold things together in your marriage, the more your husband pulls away? Like you are putting in all this effort, you're keeping track of things, you're making sure everything runs smoothly. But instead of him appreciating it, he gets quiet, he gets distant, he stops opening up to you the way he used to. And you cannot figure out why. A lot of wives in that situation try harder. They check in more, they ask more questions, they push for more communication. And the more they do that, the worse it gets. And nobody ever sat them down and explained what is actually happening. So that is what today is about. I'm going to explain to you why your husband hates feeling controlled in your marriage. Not to take his side, okay? I'm not here to take his side. I'm not here to make you feel like you are the problem. No. But because I genuinely believe if you understand what is going on inside him when he feels that way, it will change how you show up in your marriage. Hi, my name is Ellie. Welcome to my channel. This is a space where we have real conversations about relationships. The kind of conversations people need to hear, but not many are willing to have. If you are new here, welcome. Hit the subscribe button because we do this every week and you will want to come back. All right, let's get into it. Before I give you the 3 reasons, I want to be clear about what I mean when I say control. Because some wives will hear the word and immediately switch off thinking, I am not controlling. I would never do that. But control in a marriage does not always look the way you think it does. It is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is the constant checking on where he is and what he's doing, the decisions you make about the home without involving him, the way you correct him in front of people without thinking twice, the mood that changes every time your husband does something differently from how you expected it, the way he has slowly stopped making moves freely in the house because he's always calculating your reaction first. That is control. It lives quietly inside a lot of marriages. Good marriages with women who genuinely love their husbands, and it still does damage. So here are the 3 reasons why your husband hates it. Reason number 1, it makes him feel like you do not trust him. Think about what it feels like to be monitored, to have someone constantly checking your decisions, questioning your judgment, correcting you the way you do things. Now imagine that is your life inside your own marriage, inside the one place that is supposed to be your safe place. That is what your husband feels like when he feels controlled. And the message it sends to him, even if you never say it out loud, is, I do not trust you. I do not think you can handle this. I need to watch you. And a man who does not feel trusted by his own wife cannot thrive in that marriage. He starts to shut down. He stops bringing things to you because every time he does, he gets questioned or corrected. He stops making decisions because nothing he decides ever seems to be right. He pulls back, not because he stopped caring, but because staying open in an environment where he does not feel trusted is exhausting for him. You cannot build a strong marriage on top of that. Trust is the foundation. And when your husband feels like you do not trust him, that foundation starts to crack. Reason number 2, it takes away his sense of place in the marriage. Every husband needs to feel like he has a role, like he matters, like his presence in the home actually means something. That is not ego. That is just how God wired men. He needs to feel like he's contributing, like he's needed and valued at the same time. But when a wife is controlling, even in the small everyday ways, what it communicates to him is that things would run fine without him. It also communicates that his input is not needed, that you as a wife, you have it all handled. And slowly he starts to believe it. He starts to feel like a visitor in his own home, like he's just there, present, but not really part of anything. And a man who feels like that in his marriage will start to look for some way he does feel like he matters. That might be at work. That man will always make sure he's at work. That might be with his friends. It might also be somewhere else entirely, but he will find somewhere, because the need to feel significant does not go away just because he is married. Give your husband a place in your marriage. Let him lead, let him contribute, let him feel like he's needed. Because the moment he stops feeling that, that marriage starts to lose him. Reason number 3, it kills the intimacy between you. And I'm not just talking about physical intimacy. I'm talking about the real kind. The kind where he actually wants to come home to you, where he looks forward to talking to you, where he brings you his thoughts and his worries and his dreams, because you're the person he feels safest with. You know, that kind of intimacy cannot survive in a controlled environment, because intimacy requires a man to feel free to be himself, free to make mistakes without being torn apart for it, without being judged, free to show up as he is without feeling like he's always being evaluated. When that freedom is gone, when he feels like every move he makes is being watched and judged, he closes off. The walls go up, and the warm, open, present version of your husband that you fell in love with starts to disappear. Not because he has changed, but because he stopped feeling safe enough to be that person with you. And the painful thing is that most wives in that situation are not trying to push him away. They are actually trying to hold on. They are afraid of losing him, so they hold tighter. But the tighter you hold, the more you push him away. That is the cycle. And it will keep going until someone understands what is actually happening and decide to break it. So, if any of this sounds familiar, I want to ask you something honest. Does your husband feel trusted in your marriage? Does he feel like he has a real place in your home? Does he feel free to be himself with you? Because the answer to those questions will tell you more about the state of your marriage than almost anything else. You do not have to be perfect. Nobody is. But awareness is where it starts. And the moment you decide to create a marriage where your husband feels trusted and respected and free, everything starts to shift. My name is Ellie. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.